The question is that the bill be now read the third time. Shadow Minister Dame Harriett Baldwin.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. And I think it's been clear through these 2 days of debate that none of us in this House underestimate the importance of the steel industry to our national economy and the importance of the steel industry to our industrial resilience and to the communities whose livelihoods depend upon it. We can all agree that steel matters and that steel jobs matter. But we also believe that so too does the responsible stewardship of taxpayers' money. And despite the eloquent way in which the Secretary of State expressed his views on the bill, we see it much more as a chaotic and an unplanned intervention, because it's not the product of a clear steel industrial strategy. It's the product of the failure to negotiate a better outcome. The negotiated outcome was a possibility. The Secretary of State even went to China to try and achieve it. And it's the failure to address the root causes of the industry's difficulties that bring us to where we are today. This bill also could be described as the steel industry blank cheque bill, because it fails to protect the public purse from potentially vast and open-ended liabilities, because nationalisation doesn't solve the underlying issue is making domestic steel production unprofitable. Those higher employment costs, higher energy costs, planning issues, carbon pricing, regulation and levies associated with the government's net zero policies continue to weigh heavily on this sector. And this bill does nothing to resolve those pressures. Instead, Madam Deputy Speaker, it transfers them wholesale onto the taxpayer. We should really reflect how we came to this point. The government told the House not long ago that it didn't want to nationalise British Steel. Indeed, this was presented as a last resort to be avoided. And yet here we are, because the government has failed to negotiate an alternative. We can see once again that when this government negotiates, it's the taxpayer who picks up the bill. Since the intervention began last year on that historic Saturday, the cost has already run to over £1.3 million every single day. That's a bill for the taxpayer that will only get larger with this legislation. This legislation exposes the public finances to further liabilities, contingent liabilities, not only substantial, but alarmingly, potentially unlimited in terms of both their scale and their duration. This is a government getting a blank cheque forever.
Will the Shadow Minister give way?
I will give way.
I'm most grateful to the Shadow Minister for giving way. The root cause of why we're here with this bill is because the Conservative previous government sold this business to Jingye in 2019. Another root cause is because of net zero introduced by this Conservative government. So surely what this Conservative party should do is show some humility as to why we're here and support the bill.
Dame Harriett Baldwin.
Surely what the honourable member should do is welcome the fact that our party is under new leadership and outstanding leadership. Because we believe that politicians shouldn't be in the business of running commercial enterprises. I can see that is the party political position of the Reform Party. The risks of inefficiency, political interference and poor capital allocation are very well known. And moreover, the precedent set, I will give way.
I do thank her for giving way, and of course she's right that your party is under new leadership. Oh, sorry, I do apologise, Madam Deputy Speaker. I do thank her for giving way, and of course the honourable lady is right that our party is under new leadership. But what did that leadership think about the decision to sell British Steel to Xinjiang? What did that leadership think of the net zero policies, etc., which the honourable lady does blame for the current situation? What did that leader think when she was in government? What did she do to oppose it?
Harriett Baldwin.
It does seem a bit rich to be lectured on support for party leadership from someone from the Labour benches at the moment. So I will move on swiftly from that. Because I think what this bill does in terms of the precedent that it sets, and indeed the government's own impact assessment says this, that by expropriating assets in this way, it risks undermining the very investor confidence that we need at this precise moment when the UK needs to attract inward investment into strategic industries. Throughout this committee stage, we've sought to improve this legislation, to introduce better transparency for Parliament, to limit liability, and to ensure proper parliamentary oversight. In doing that, I'd like to thank my team, the team of clerks, the whipping team, and of course you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Our amendments throughout this process were responsible safeguards. They were designed to protect the taxpayer and to impose discipline on the government. Their rejection only reinforces our concerns that ministers are unwilling to confront the full implications of their own policy. And so as we come to third reading, the choice is clear. This is a bill that risks enormous cost, offers insufficient answers, and sends troubling signals about the UK as a place to do business. We cannot support it in its current form. And while we won't vote against its third reading today, for the sake of the taxpayer, for the health of the steel sector, and for the credibility of industrial policy in this country, we can't support it at third reading either.